112 Ocean Avenue, Amityville, New York. This house, with its iconic quarter-moon windows, has become synonymous with terror and mystery. It's a place where reality collided with the supernatural, or so we're told. In 1974, this quiet suburban home became the site of a horrifying tragedy that left an entire family dead. A year later, it became the stage for one of the most infamous hauntings in history. But is there truth behind the tales of malevolent spirits and eerie phenomena? Or has the Amityville Horror been exaggerated, shaped by human imagination and media hype? Today, we'll dive into the haunting backstory, the paranormal claims, and the skepticism surrounding the Amityville Horror. Was it a genuine brush with the supernatural, or a carefully crafted hoax? Let's find out. Reality Recital, where truth meets the unknown. Our journey into the darkness begins on November 13, 1974. Ronald DeFeo Jr., a 23-year-old man living at 112 Ocean Avenue, ran into a local bar that evening, frantic and trembling. He shouted, "You've got to help me. My mother and father have been shot." When police arrived at the DeFeo home, they discovered a chilling scene. 6 bodies, Ronald Sr., Louise, and their 4 children, were found shot to death in their beds. Strangely, all the victims were positioned face down, as if they'd been arranged that way. Even more perplexing, no neighbors heard the sound of the rifle that was used, a weapon so loud it should have been heard blocks away. Ronald Jr., or Butch as he was known, was initially seen as a grieving son and brother. But within hours, his story began to fall apart. Under police questioning, Butch confessed to the killings, claiming he'd acted alone. But his confession came with a sinister twist. He alleged that voices in his head had driven him to commit the murders. What could push someone to commit such an unthinkable act? Was it mental illness, drug use, or financial strain? While some dismissed his claims of hearing voices as a desperate legal defense, others couldn't ignore the eerie circumstances surrounding the crime. Why didn't anyone hear the gunshots? How did the victims remain undisturbed as they were murdered one by one? These unanswered questions laid the groundwork for the horrors that would follow. Fast forward to December 1975, just over a year after the DeFeo murders. The house at 112 Ocean Avenue was back on the market. Despite its gruesome history, George and Kathy Lutz decided to buy it. At $80,000, it was a steal for a house of that size. The couple believed they could make a fresh start there with their 3 children, but what began as a dream quickly turned into a nightmare. According to the Lutzes, their first few days in the house were marked by an unshakable feeling of dread. Then, things escalated. Doors would slam shut without warning. Strange, foul odors filled the air, with no apparent source. Walls oozed a mysterious green slime, and cold spots appeared throughout the house. George Lutz claimed he woke up every night at exactly 3:15 a.m., the same time the DeFeo murders were believed to have occurred. Kathy reported seeing a terrifying apparition, a demon-like pig with glowing red eyes staring at her through a window. Even their children experienced paranormal attacks, including levitation from their beds. After just 28 days, the Lutz family fled the house, leaving most of their belongings behind. They claimed they were too terrified to return. The events they described were so outlandish, so terrifying, that they captured the nation's attention. But could these events have been real? Or was something else at play? As the Lutz family story spread, skeptics began to ask questions. Investigators visited the home, trying to confirm reports of paranormal activity. Many left empty-handed, finding no evidence of hauntings. Some neighbors even came forward, claiming they never saw or heard anything unusual during the Lutz family's short stay. One of the most controversial figures in this story is William Weber, the lawyer who once represented Ronald DeFeo Jr. in a shocking revelation. Weber claimed he and the Lutzes had fabricated the haunting over drinks, intending to profit from the house's sinister reputation. According to Weber, it was a story crafted for fame and fortune. However, George and Kathy Lutz stood by their account until their deaths, insisting that every horrifying detail was true. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren also vouched for the haunting, claiming they experienced a demonic presence in the house. The Warrens even produced a chilling photograph of what they claimed was a ghostly child peering out from one of the rooms. Still, doubts linger. Could the Amityville Horror have been nothing more than a product of collective imagination, fueled by media sensationalism? Or is there a kernel of truth hidden in the layers of fiction? The Amityville Horror is more than just a story, it's a cultural phenomenon. It raises unsettling questions about the nature of evil and the limits of human perception. Was 112 Ocean Avenue truly haunted, or was it a house of horrors born out of tragedy and myth? We may never have definitive answers, but one thing is certain: the tale of the Amityville Horror continues to haunt our collective imagination. What do you think? Was the Lutz family's story real, or was it a clever fabrication? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most infamous haunted houses in history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Reality Recital, and hit the bell icon for more eerie explorations. Until next time, stay curious, and maybe, just maybe, leave the lights on tonight.